Be me. Be at the theater with crew, waiting to watch Alita. Enter Tardman, the destructor of cinemas. He storms his way in with his absolute blob of a mama.
Mummy, what movie am I watching?
You'll be watching Aladdin, baby, with me. Her voice penetrates the eardrums of everyone within her vicinity, provoking moviegoers like an LRAD going off. LRAD deployed.exe. Tard stomps his way past my crew, stinking of sweat and other indescribable shit. Fucker lingered around my spot, bombarding us with deadly gases. Friends are complaining of his smell. One of them says, "I'd name that weirdo Stinkball if I were you, Riley." Thanks to playing hockey, I'm unfazed by the Tard's overwhelming stench. Whips out phone, cause boredom. Logs on to PUBG Mobile, about to get a quick chicken dinner before worshipping the cyborg goddess Alita. Game opens up in full volume. I forgot to plug in my headphones, alerting the Tard to my presence. We've been spotted, .flak. Stinkball stomps his way over to me and literally poked his greasy, acne-riddled face in front of my phone.
What game you play? I won't play too.
Slightly annoyed, I toned down the volume and replied, "PUBG Mobile. You've never played this before?"
No, Mommy says shooty shooty bad.
My face when Stinkball literally says shooty shooty bad. Suppressed internal kek.ogg. Well, I guess you can't play, cause you'll have to shoot people in this game. Stinkball's face contorts into a massive scowl. He's triggered. Fuck.jpg.
Well, can I have your phone? It looks new to me.
He starts to reach for my phone, as I quickly stuffed it back inside my backpack. Nope, I worked my ass off for this phone, sorry. Stinkball deadass screamed in my face for me to give him my phone. Most of his screams are just pure gibberish, though there is one decipherable phrase.
Give phone now, give me phone!
Fucker tries to reach for my portable bag. Stinkball lands a tight grip and managed to rip the fucking strap off by breaking one of the plastic hooks. Bag contents spilled everywhere. I dive for my phone, not wanting my precious device to be contaminated by his sweat stench. Enter Tard's entitled mama, fully agitated. She screams at me, in my fucking ears.
Give him your fucking phone, you slut!
Could have sworn I lost my hearing for a second there. Tries to pry it out of my hands, after I got up from saving my phone from imminent disaster. I push her off, causing the entitled Tard bearer to lose balance and fall off the floor.
I'll fucking sue you for assaulting my little angel, you fucking bitch!
She gets up and tried to grab me by my hair. Emphasis on tried. I stepped to the side and let her smash against Stinkball, who apparently tried to defend his mom after failing to get to my phone. Security arrives, as the mom staggered her way to them while yelling,
"This bitch tried to kill my angel and me! Arrest her! Arrest her now!"
I dared to have security review the CCTV footage. Her face goes pale in an instant. Stinkball still oblivious to the shit show he single-handedly caused. Security takes me, my crew, Stinkball, and his entitled mom to review the footage, clearly showing Stinkball reaching for my phone and tearing my bag. Me diving to the floor, the entitled mom trying to rip my phone out of my hands, and her being pushed away, sending her on the floor. The mom continues to sob that I've assaulted her and that I should be kicked out. Security is having none of the mom's bullshit. She gets banned from the theater and escorted away along with Stinkball, who, somehow, is still oblivious to what's happening around him. Despite the shit show, I and my crew managed to participate in the worshipping ceremony of Our Lady Alita, bearer of awesomeness and badassery. Life is good. There's a kid with Down syndrome who goes to our school named Josh, but we call him Taz. He lives up to the name. I have a couple Taz stories, so this may be a while. Worth the read, though. I heard from one kid that Taz was making constipated Tard mumbles/screeches in the bathroom stall, and when this kid went to go investigate, Taz burst out of his stall, handful of shit, and threw it at him. He's also been known to run around on all fours and scream, "Moo!" He once even threatened to cut someone's ass off. Now that you have an idea of Taz's behavior, I can get to the story I'm involved in. Taz used to sit with us at lunch. We're your average teenage boys, so we were calling each other gay. But one day, Taz joined in and called my buddy gay too. I'll never forget it. He leaned in, did a thumbs down, and said,
"You're gay."
It was the funniest thing I'd ever seen. The fact that his little tard brain associated gay with thumbs down is beautiful. We didn't even teach him that. Taz, overjoyed that he made us laugh, used the word continuously. It became his go-to insult. It started out with him calling us gay during lunch. It didn't take long before he started branching out. I can recall one lunch where Taz was saying "you're gay" to the popular kids when they were walking by our table. We've created a monster. He went up to a group of gossiping girls, I hear, and called them gay too. Not even females were immune to the all-knowing one. Taz was turning people gay long before James Charles or J.K. Rowling. When Taz had reached full power, he threw a French fry at my friend and said,
"You're gay."
Unfortunately, the Tard Wrangler saw him throw the French fry. She told him he needed to leave. He turned around and screamed,
"No, you're gay!"
to the fucking Tard guard. She dragged him away to Tard HQ, and we could hear him say,
"Gay, gay, 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 gay,"
as she dragged him away. He was never allowed to sit with us again. Taz the Tard Part 3. I thought this was the end of the Josh saga, but sometimes, if we saw him in the hallway, my friend would say, "You're gay," and we were behind him, and he'd turn to us, smile, and go on a
"Gay, gay, gay, gay"
rampage. Nobody ever believed us, but several weeks later, my buddy was using the urinal and Taz walked in. Taz verbally assaulted him with the word "gay" while he was pissing, but this time my other friend got it on video. Thrilled at the news, I posted the footage on my YouTube channel as soon as I could. Unfortunately, it didn't take long before someone at my school snitched about the video and accused us of bullying him. How dare they? Taz was like a son to me. We were teaching him our ways. We took him under our wing. I couldn't win this battle, though, and I was forced to delete the video off of my phone and delete the video from YouTube. Taz got a detention for calling people gay. I was furious, but I was also powerless. The Tard Wranglers used methods of hypnosis or something to trick Taz into thinking the word gay was bad. Taz went up to my friend a couple weeks later and said,
"Don't say gay, it's a bad word."
It broke my heart. Despite this, I still occasionally hear him turning someone else gay. A beam of hope. Maybe one day he will return to his former glory. Be me. Half Tard, half beta fag. Afflicted with autism, ADHD, and a short temper. Autistic enough to have an IEP, independent education plan, and Tard privilege, sadly, including a guard. Normie enough to stay in normal curriculum and not be considered a tard by others. Hacked the system.png. Live in a small mountain village with a 20-minute drive to and from a larger town with the schools and a ski/golf resort. The school system breaks the students between 3 buildings throughout the town. A preschool in the far end of the valley next to a graveyard, important later. A much larger building holding kindergarten to 2nd grade, and a much more modern and large facility split between 2 sections, 3rd through 6th and 7th through seniors. All 3 buildings have a dedicated Tard HQ and guards to each Tard as they wander. Since I am a half-breed, I'm allowed to leave Normie class at any time to head into the HQs to vent, rant, and piss off the Tards. I have a dark sense of humor, so I enjoy seeing people in rage and discomfort as long as it isn't focused on me. Gave up porn in favor of secretly causing turmoil because it's less risky than being caught fapping. Alright, now that minimal context is out of the way, let's get to some juicy tardom. Be me, 4th grade, passing period. Going to the bathroom for the 5th time in an hour because I can't deal with this shit. Parents pressure me to be the next Tony Stark. Something seems off, as no one else is near the bathroom and those passing by it are actively avoiding it. Don't give a shit, and head in to shit. As I open the door, a thick, stuffy gas enters my lungs. Vomit.exe. The gas smells of bile, shit, piss, carrots, and sulfuric acid. Don't ask why I know that smell. Pissed, I rush in and hold my breath, and wrap some paper towels around my nose and mouth to add some protection. I suddenly hear some chuckling deeper in, so idiotically I wade through the gas to investigate further. I begin to notice that through the stinging haze, a figure forms in the shadows near where I know the urinals are. The scent gets strong enough to pass through my makeshift mask, and as I begin to choke, the Tard I've known most of my life approaches. The Repeater. The Repeater, as I call him, is not your normal Tard, although he has the antics of a Tard. He doesn't actually have the downs. Instead, his Aspie and especially autism fills the gap. He earned the nickname because he is so autistic that he can't speak normally, and instead repeats almost everything he hears in technology. He has a habit of singing Christmas carols out of nowhere, with accuracy only beaten by the videos he watches. The kid looks like what would happen if you combined Voldemort, SCP-096, a sack of potatoes, and a pack of wild rednecks in a blender. Repeater approaches me, and in a voice that sounds like a high-pitched minion, he says,
Anon! Anon!
and tries to grab me with moist, brown-covered hands. Oh shit, nigger.jpg. I squirm out of his grasp. He doesn't like it. He screeches his signature catchphrase,
S.I.
and grabs me by the leg and neck. He drags me further into the brown abyss, and suddenly stops in front of the last urinal. The smell is worse than ever, and I see the source of the gas. He took a massive fucking shit in the urinal. Looks like he shit, pissed on it, then puked on it to make what I can only call a tard pie. I could even see chunks of what I can only guess was carrot, goldfish, and magnetic sand sprinkled on a deep brown spiral. As I sit there in shock, he gets the bright idea to shove my face into the pie. About half a foot away from certain doom, my own tard strength kicks in, and I sling my heel into his crotch. Important later. Tardscreech.png. He releases his grasp and charges me like SCP-096 into the urinal. I slip and fall right into the pie. Shock.png. Rage.exe initiated. I take a fistful of his pie off my face and smear it on his own face. Bad idea. Bad idea. We charge one another in a battle only matched by the Great Tard War. We brawl for 5 minutes straight until a set of Wranglers comes in. Dragged to the downstairs bathroom to clean. Insert long-ass story about legal shit and family shit. Be me, the half-breed. 6th grade, I know, time skip. Be ready for jumps between 3rd and 10th grade. Walking to AP Biology cause I'm a smartass. Walk by the only Tard I can trust. The Joker. The Joker is another character whom, at first glance, doesn't look like a Tard. But throughout his life, he had experienced enough family turmoil, bullying, and concussions from sports that he developed what some would call chronic joke disorder, where his brain forces him to crack jokes whenever he can, especially dark humor. Also a head-ass with the asps and a potato build. He managed to keep his intelligence during the normie Tard transformation, but doesn't stop him from doing normal Tard things, including charging the Repeater for stealing his pen, dropping said pen on a teacher who looks like Vsauce, and student charges for sexual harassment and has to ask for consent before even a high five. Back to story, I eye him sneaking up on a grill, 5 out of 10, extra thick, and screeches, "Boo!" behind her as he flicked her in the back. She jumps, slaps him, and walks off. Wrangler notices, tells him off. The Joker makes a shitty dark joke that pisses off a nearby spick. The two start to argue, with his Wrangler trying to break it up, but instead only fueled the argument. Slap fight ensues, and a random girl is caught in the crossfire. Joker grabs some trash from a bin and tosses it at the spick. TacoRage.png. JokerLaugh.avi. Shit gets real as the Joker's goons, mostly jocks, arrive. Spick backs up, and his friends back him up. Battle was only seconds away, when thank God Repeater shows up. Repeater walks calmly between the two groups, standing between the two. On the spot, he pukes up today's lunch, pizza, although the pizza here can be considered worse than prison food. Both groups retreat. Everyone goes to class, and the Joker gets off free. That face when the Repeater stopped a race war. This, my friends, is the epic tale of Casey. With a name like Casey, you know the kid is going to be a little bit off, but this one was a lot of bit off. So pull up a chair, grab a drink, and read. Walking in the bathroom in freshman year, right next to the lunchroom. 4 stalls, and one is without a door, of course. Our champion Casey is in that one. I pop a squad in the handicapped one, because it's like a cozy little shit house. Everything goes smooth until I hear a heavy breathing, which can only be described as walloping. I looked around for the source of these continued wallops until I look up. Casey. He's planked between 2 stalls, and his head is resting right above me. I stare at him, into those deep green eyes that know no fear or remorse. Casey's eyes were dead men's eyes. I then hear a noise that sounded like a fart, but more rumble than usual. Suddenly, the lights start to dim, and I get up to get a better view. Casey is spraying poop all over the light. I pull up my trousers and make a hasty retreat, for the day is lost. Retard Wrangler asks if everything is okay. Nothing is okay. I just saw a 6'2" tard shit on a light. Just shake my head and respond, see for yourself. Tard Wrangler walks in, then right back out, pulls the door shut, and locks it. Then, to 5th hour, hear a lot of commotion in the hallway. Peek out the door. See Casey running ass naked with a trail of shit behind him. Close door and stare at the chalkboard, because I just got a whole eyeful of Casey's penis. Almost pissed myself laughing. Found out later they locked him in for the whole lunch period, but that crazy son of a bitch lifted a ceiling tile and escaped. Once again, a Casey story, but this time sophomore year. School has gay acceptance day, where they let tards do everything normal people do. Go to lunch without any hassle, in the pizza line when I see who's serving it. Casey. Ponder why they would let this beast within 500 feet of food being served to others. Casey looks all happy and content shoveling pizza onto kids' plates. One hot girl in line, but total slut. Still 9 out of 10. Casey stares at her, all wide-eyed. Casey says,
I have a special piece for you.
Dear Lord. Goes back to the kitchen and comes back 30 seconds later holding a piece of pizza, obviously cummed on. Tries to get the girl to eat it. Girl is repulsed, and the Wrangler just realized what's going on. Casey books after the girl, who proceeded to run to the principal's office. Principal talking to crying girl when Casey barges in and loudly proclaims,
She's mine!
Throws pizza at principal's face. Direct hit, 10 out of 10 landing. Cum and pizza sauce all over face. Casey charges past him into his office. Hear over PA,
She is mine, Mr. Principal!
And heavy breathing. No more acceptance days. Still called the principal cum slice. Still sophomore year for this one. Halloween. Casey is dressed as a Viking. Has a plastic war axe. Once again, ponder the school's reasoning. About to go to lunch when see out of the corner of my eye a cardboard Viking ship. This fucker was at least 10 feet long. Leading the majestic lady of the seas was, of course, Casey. Captain Casey had a crew of 5 tards strong, some firefighters and some Captain Americas. Think to myself, oh dear Lord. Then I heard it. Casey's war cry can only be compared to a deaf man singing opera. 6 tards charging down the hall at full speed, ram right through the school's doors. At least 15 Wranglers chasing them. They make it all the way to the end of the block without encountering trouble. The police arrived to set up a barricade. Casey rallies his men, inspiring courage into their hearts and fear into the enemies. Casey charges, knocks out a cop with the axe, gets tased. Find out that day that Casey looks like a walrus mating when tased. In the end, Casey is charged with assault with a deadly weapon, but charges are dropped because he's a tard. No more Halloween props allowed. Found out later that Casey had a pipe in his war axe for reinforcement. Tard's performing a play that the whole school has to see. Production of Peter Pan. Look at playbill to see who's Peter. Not Casey, delightfully disappointing. Turns out Casey is kid number 2. Halfway through the play, nothing happens, although it's still shit. Suddenly, I hear laughing, and piano. Casey is lowered from the rafters, dressed as Phantom of the Opera. Never LOL'd so hard in my life. Casey then proceeds to spin. Assless chaps. Hairiest ass I've ever seen. Then he pulls down his pants. Hair just stops. Speaks tard for Captain Hook's beard. Oh god, Casey, why? Turns out he knew he was leaving the school, so he wanted to go out with a bang. Made a pube beard. Silently hope the whole beard wasn't made of pubes, because then, Casey, you need to see a follicle expert. Casey raises like a badass motherfucker. Never see him again. I'll miss that crazy son of a bitch.